Well, the push to keep the paw in PawSox continued today as the team, along with city and state leaders, announced plans for a new study about whether McCoy Stadium is still the best option for the PawSox.
The PawSox considered abandoning McCoy, saying that the stadium doesn't meet the team's needs.
The study's authors estimate it will cost roughly $35 million just to do the basic maintenance needed to keep McCoy viable for the next 20 years.
The Pawtucket Red Sox will be no more. Instead, they're moving to Worcester. It's obviously a huge win for that city.
It's going to bring something for the kids to do, you know, something cheap, something affordable for the families.
It's going to bring in a lot of publicity, and it's going to bring in some more people in the city, and we're very excited about it.
It's going to be great. I've never been to actually Pawtucket.
Who really goes to Pawtucket?
I've been coming here for the last 25, 30 years, and it's just a shame.
No WooSox. Pawtucket Red Sox. These guys are grooming to play here.
This is their home. Don't send them to Worcester.
This deal will also include an $86 million ballpark, which will include 2 hotels, apartments, retail shops, and a restaurant. The tentative name, Polar Park.
The team will continue playing in Rhode Island for 2 more years, while the new park is under construction and set to open in 2021.
The PawSox might not ever play another game at McCoy Stadium. We first brought you this announcement live at 5 over on WPRI 12. The 2020 baseball season is officially canceled, minor league baseball that is, and the team is set to play in Worcester in 2021.
How to put in words, it meant a lot. I think when people heard the word Pawtucket, you know, they thought of the PawSox.
The WooSox and Polar Park open 3 weeks from today, and it looks like they have about 3 weeks of work left to do. But for sure, they are going to play ball on May 11th.
The city of Worcester has been said to be going through something of a renaissance recently. After carrying a reputation as one of the most dangerous cities in Massachusetts, things are finally looking up for the second largest city in New England. Alongside the reconstruction and revival of Kelly Square, an infamously dangerous intersection in the center of Worcester, the city is ready to welcome visitors for the newest attraction to the heart of Massachusetts, Polar Park. Polar Park is the new home of the Worcester Red Sox, who will have their very first game in just a few days from now. But before they were the WooSox, they spent 50 years being known to many as the PawSox. And they were a big part of what made another troubled city so well known. Pawtucket itself is no stranger to having a bad reputation. In its past, it once served as a major textile hub during the Industrial Revolution. Today, it's known as the 3rd most dangerous city in Rhode Island. This is McCoy Stadium, the place that the PawSox called home since 1970. Being recently left behind, however, the city currently uses it as a symptomatic testing site for COVID-19. Rhode Island made many attempts in trying to keep the PawSox, including plans for a new stadium in Providence and elsewhere in Pawtucket. Eventually, though, those efforts fell flat, with the PawSox ending their run in 2019 as a result of the pandemic. One of my favorite things about McCoy was that, even for folks like me that aren't mega baseball fans, they always found a way to involve the greater Rhode Island community. Personally, I got to experience this back in my high school band days, as we would always end our season with a pre-show and national anthem performance at McCoy.
It started out as they reached out to us years ago as a fundraiser idea, and I thought it was pretty cool. All right, so they give us a bunch of tickets, we sell them, and we get half the proceeds. And I thought it was a really cool idea. And it was a great way for family members to, to kind of see us and do something fun and different. And my goal for the marching band was always to try to do something unique and different. So when we started doing the Pawtucket Red Sox, it was a great way to bring the marching band into the the public eye and do something that a lot of these kids would never get a chance to do unless they were in the band. So it's opportunities like that where I try to take advantage of. Pawtucket Red Sox, they were great at community involvement, and not just the band, but with the Cub Scouts, every organization. When we would go to do the national anthem, there were times where we were just one part of the pregame ceremonies, where they would bring and acknowledge somebody or a group. There's a whole 2 years, and it's going to be 3 years of students coming through our program that don't remember the Pawtucket Red Sox, that it was not part of their program. So, within a couple years, kids aren't going to be asking, hey, how come we don't do the Pawtucket Red Sox anymore? Because they were never involved in it. So at that point, it may be a good time to transition to focus on, something else, something different that we can do at the close of the year.
As time moves on and as things progress, those memories are just that, memories. There isn't much left here for the nearly 80-year-old stadium. The future is unclear as to what the city will do with it without the PawSox here. On the upshot, the addition of the WooSox has come at a time of change for Worcester. Places that were once challenged areas are now beginning to turn into entirely new experiences. One of those is the Worcester Public Market, a local food court and marketplace that opened just over a year ago. Its opening has been referred to as one of the key pieces of revitalizing Worcester's Canal District.
My name is Zlody. I am the director of the market pantry here at the Worcester Public Market. I left my career 17 years at Clark University to come on this wild new adventure with the owner of the building, Alan Fletcher. I was tasked with finding food for sale from regional, women-owned, immigrant businesses. So pretty much I trolled the East Coast for food products that are both vegan and non-vegan, and I get to have a great time exploring food and food culture in Worcester. I find it funny that they're calling it like the Worcester Renaissance, because I'm the co-founder and co-director of Start in the Street, which is Central Massachusetts' largest arts and cultural festival, and we've been doing it for 17 years. So I feel like we've already started the development, and yes, admittedly, having this building here and having the WooSox here is a good thing, but I think that Worcester's been growing continually for like the last 20 years, and this is just sort of like an epic part of that growth. If the WooSox are successful, I see us continuing to grow, but I also knew that we were going to continue to grow no matter what. So with the changes that are happening in the neighborhood, I have a little bit of fear about gentrification, leaving people out who deserve to continue to be able to live in their neighborhoods. But as always, I see Worcester in a very positive light. I can't not. Am I excited that they're here? I think that they're going to do a lot for Worcester. But I'm definitely of the Massachusetts nature of I take things slowly, and I want to see how things work out. And like I said, it's a huge investment for the city, and hopefully it's going to pay off in the end.
Though Polar Park is playing a massive role in driving new attention towards the heart of Massachusetts, it's clear that the change being driven in Worcester has been a long time coming in the city, and that change is far from over. Regardless of how successful the WooSox may be in their new home, it's clear that locals are hopeful that this growth will continue far into the future. As for the locals back in Rhode Island, it's unclear who might be willing to see them in their new home 45 minutes away. If anything, it's clear that those fans will never forget the times they shared during their run in Pawtucket. But if there's one thing that's for certain, it's that fans new and old have a brand new way to see their favorite team play the old ball game.